the current administration, from their political appointment, gave more youth the opportunity compared to the previous administration. Even though they have one of the largest cabinet member since the inception of the Fourth Republic, about 46 ministers or thereabout. But if you look at that composition, you discover that there are young people in that composition compared to, even though the percentage of young people in that composition might not be more than 25 to 30% of the general composition of members of the cabinet. I want to believe this administration has given more youth the opportunity compared to the previous administration. The only challenge this administration has gotten is taking hasty policy decision that has affected the entire system. So even the youth that have been given opportunity, their performance will not be reflective of what it should be, because the general decision taken by the administration has overshadowed whatever the youth will have done. But to be sincere, this administration has given youth more opportunity compared to the immediate past administration. If you look at the class of governors that came into office in 1999, majority of them were in their early 40s, some were in their late 30s. And if you want to assess them based on that, you will say they are youth. Unfortunately, even though the demography has not been favorable or too favorable to the youth themselves have not been able to represent that constituency very well. There are so many youth, or very few youth, that have been given the opportunity, have bastardized this opportunity. You can take some of the former state governors, for example, who are running away from EFCC now or finding it difficult to appear before the EFCC. Most of them mismanage their states. Leadership goes beyond just being a youth. Even if the youthful demography have not been adequately represented the way we would have wanted to be represented, the few of the youth who have found themselves in that space have not adequately represented the youth. Look at the immediate suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Dr. Betty Ati. She is a youth. There are so many other youth that have been given the opportunity. The former governor of Kogi State is a youth. He became a governor, I think he was less than 40 when he became governor. So the youth might not have been demographically represented the way they should be, but the few that have been given the opportunity have not adequately represented the youth. But that does not mean that the youth should not be given the opportunity, because the driving force of the development of this nation depends on the youth. But our political structure will make it very difficult for youth to have space, because our political structure is highly monetized. Even if you are a young man, if you don't have the financial capacity, you might not be able to find yourself in the position of leadership. That is why the money bags and the big wings, those who have the financial muscle and who are also old, are the ones that determine what happens. But if the youth can be focused and be able to put their acts together with a direction of making sure that they want to represent the country, the demography favors the youth, because you have more younger people in the country than the older people. But unfortunately, the older people will always use their position to manipulate the younger ones. So the youth themselves need to put their acts in order and do the needful, so that they will be able to represent that constituency or that demography very well. Even though the democratic space have not been efficiently occupied by the youth.